for some reason, I seems to have acquired the ankle. I don't know whether it's because of my gray, young and gray, but I'm young and gray. So even my big brother still calls me uncle, and I welcome it anyway. I love it a bit. Thank you. Bless him.
Okay, Peace Isabella Donani says, more fire, Mr. Fiifi Mparey, who's UK and Ireland Deputy Communication Officer. Very well highlighted. Good morning to Juliana Belinda. I'll say, there's of course, hey, Chairman is here. Chairman says, well-spoken Uncle Fee, NDC UK and Ireland chapter is proud of your hard work for the party. That's coming from Chairman. A good morning to you. Yes, I didn't know you were listening.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate my Chairman. You see, the uncle still came from Chairman.
Yes, from even Chairman. Well, if you just join us, we're having a conversation with Fiifi Mparey, who is from the UK Ireland chapter of the National Democratic Congress. He's in town for a short period, and I decided to pay us a visit. It's always nice to have you in the studio. First of all, I realize that one of the things that excites you about the offerings in the NDC manifesto is the 24-hour economy.
That's correct.
Why?
Sena, is a very good question, and it's one of those questions that everywhere I go, when people ask, I take my time to actually breathe in and make sure right. I can hit all the right calls. Why? As I said earlier, it's important for us to get the basics right. But as we get in the basics right, we also have to embrace the new way of working, or the new way of thinking, and the new way of working, I called it. And the new way of working is to work around the clock, 24 hours. This is happening in all the serious jurisdictions, and even some African countries. Here in Ghana, we shut our doors. And when we say we shut our doors, as an argument has been made in the past that, there are chobas 24 hours, there are police 24 hours. Yes, those.
But the latest is disco.
24-hour disco. They will be so tired, isn't it? They will never stop dancing, you know. But look, in a more serious note, what we need to do as a country is to ensure that the services that we provide during the day, whether it's insurance, whether it's banking, and I'm not talking about just walking to the ATM and get money out, but being able to transact or do business whilst you have somebody over the phone to action a serious amount across the group somewhere for you. You know, this is what I'm talking about. Whether it's even some of our retail centers, and then also looking at all other services that are connected or interconnected with our industrialization are working around the clock. This is what the West does. And that is why the 24-hour economy, which is in part of our policy, is coupled up with a big push. The last time I did mention about the big push. And it really excites me. And it's something that we've never had as a country. And this is a visionary, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, once again, with the NDC, bringing this along. Yes.
You said it's a new way of doing things.
It's a new way of doing things.
We need to all embrace it.
Yes, we need to all embrace it. Maybe I might have to break it down a bit more for a layman on the street. When we talk about 24-hour economy, what are we talking about? Or what are we saying? It's simple. That we're going to now make sure companies, we have so many companies, they do 9 to 5. They close and they go. But we are going to make sure we bring these companies along, give them tax incentives, tax breaks. Some of them will have meters, smart meters that will help them in their electricity tariffs and what have you, for them to work around the clock. We've had an argument where people are saying, oh, we need to induce that. And because the market or the market will not be there, or the demand will not be there, and we need to induce the demand. Look, it's surprising when you start something, it's when you realize that the demand is there. Ghanaian consumers spend a lot of money. They import a lot. So what are we going to do? We are going to make sure our sugar factories, our tomato factories. Now you see a lot of waste tomatoes. I saw a video about a week ago, a farmer lamenting on how his oranges, when they are not able to get transport or they are not able to sell all of them, it just goes to waste. In the West, it doesn't happen. I'm not saying some oranges don't go to waste, but many of these will go through. They will blend them into juices. They will blend them. They will even take the skin out. They will find a way of putting this skin out, getting something out of it, medication or cream or something of that nature. And this is what the NDC is talking about. This is why the agro-processing companies comes in. So they're going to add products to this. Tomatoes is not going to go to waste. When they are about to hit that they are at the time that it will go to waste or it will be rotten, the agro-processing is then takes over. They change some of them to tomato paste into all kind of tinned tomatoes, and then preserve them and sell them for home consumption and for export again. And then we will have people working in these particular companies around the clock. We will have companies that will take on a lot more people if they work around the clock. This will help our unemployment that this government abysmal performance have pushed it through the roof. So it's something that we need to embrace. And then couple up with the big push. When we speak about the big push, look, in the serious jurisdiction, what actually also moves one of the fundamental things that move their economy is taking big projects, big infrastructure projects. Some projects could be, I know the Kensington Olympia, the building alone is taking about 7 years just to renovate and push it up and extend it and modernize it. And these are big money projects. I know bridges, I know flyovers that get done. And this is where the $10 billion US big push come in, to make sure that the infrastructure deficit for the past 8 years that this government, NPP government, have pushed us into, that money goes in there. When that money goes to help the infrastructure deficit, it trickles down to the ordinary Ghanaian. Why? Because the ordinary companies, the local companies, the construction companies will be employed. They will then take people on. When these engineers are being paid, they're also going to pay the drivers. Drivers are being paid. There will be other services, even construction, even include cleaning. So all these things, you will see the money trickle down. So the $10 billion US for the big push, when that money is pushed into construction, the economy will benefit massively. The individual Ghanaian will benefit massively. That is why I don't like to talk about the 24-hour economy as a standalone project, but I want to all the time couple it up to the big push. It makes sense, and then it works better. And look, it spells out in the manifesto, and he said it so many times. So it's going to be done. It's going to be done.
Great. We have to be bringing this to a close. First of all, you're confident that John Mahama will win the 2024 elections. There's a month to go. Yes, if you're polling someone today, maybe they are in favor of John Dramani Mahama. But what happens in a month? A lot could change. Why are you confident that people will not change their mind? You are using polling numbers for October to believe that a person will still have the same thinking when they go to the polls.
Ghanaians have made their minds for the past how many years? I would say 3-4 years. They've been crying for change. Normally, you will see a decline of that. We haven't seen a decline. Okay. Rather, we've seen rise. Okay. Anything that goes against a government when they're about to go down is what is happening. The demonstration, the people still doing what they're doing, sticking to their guns and telling the government out, speaking truth to the power, and then government even arresting protesters and then making sure they are put in remand for 2 weeks and what have you. These are signs, and it's written on the walls. Anybody who does not understand how a government loses power and they lose massively, miserably, for them to be disgraced, the signs are on the wall for everybody to see. And that is what this NPP government is going to suffer. Going into the change of mind, I can't see the change of mind because Ghanaians have been very consistent of what they want. And for the first time, and I will applaud every Ghanaian and all Ghanaians listening to us and Ghanaians around the globe. They have been majority of them have been super consistent. Now Ghanaians seems to know what they want. Maybe the exposure is getting better thanks to social media. They know what is happening in the West. They know what is happening in the East. So now they are also trying to demand more from their government. And this government have not been able to produce or giving them what they're looking for. Hence the change. And I can't see many people or anybody changing their mind. If there is anything at all, if there's going to be a change of mind, it's going to be the other way. People who have already stacked to change will change their mind from sticking with the MPP and then changing that vote to the NDC.
So what do you see is a shift towards the NDC?
It will be a shift. It will be a shift.
I see. And let me conclude by asking you, President Akufo-Addo says former President Mahama should stop running away from Vice President Bawumia and go and have the debate. Should it happen?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all. President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, will not debate Bawumia. Bawumia should debate himself. The very questions that he wrote to former Vice President of blessed memories, Emisa Atta, he should answer those questions. If he's able to answer those 50-something questions himself, then we will be ready to debate him. Other than that, no, His Excellency is not. Some of us are even ready to debate Bawumia anytime.
I see.
Anytime.
Fiifi, thank you very much. Man.
Thank you, Sena.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Fiifi Mparey is a member of the